I'm pretty intrigued to bring you guys another GTA video with Chris Dash on GTA 5. Okay, so this video is going to be a celebration, but how is it going to be a celebration? Here is the facts. Okay, so today we're going to be spinning the wheel, and the wheel is going to be one of the special things that you can basically get. And what you can see is on the screen is this is a daily and weekly thing that you can possibly do, but we made it closer to the diamond casino. So now I let this guy chauffeur my whip to the garage. As I'm going in and trying to take a shot at getting something from the wheel, could be RP, could be money, could be this beautiful car, or even clothes. So even the discount and even the magical situation, but we're making a choice right now by spinning the wheel, and you can do it every single day. And look what happens. The excitement my character has on his face. We just won the car. Tom is now giving us a message on the left hand side of my screen and saying congratulations on your successful win that you won by rolling the wheel in the casino. A great shot. So this car that we just got is going to be very much the most iconic car of GTA 5 right now. And this is what I know about this vehicle right here. The Overflod Imorgon. Okay? So this car is very intriguing because it's the one of the most special cars that you see that you can win. And I have just won it. I put it in the garage. I called it up and I'm like, hey, you know what? Keep my car here. I'm going to come back for it later. I'm going to go and drive this car. So this car is the one that I won that was on the spinning wheel in the Diamond Casino. And I was like, geez, it's mine's now. I got to really make it mine's. So I'm going to go do some customizations and I'm going to bring it to the garage. And I just thought to myself, what would be the best thing I can possibly do to this car? I just kind of drove it around just a little bit. It has this electricity feeling, but this hybrid feeling of like, it's just so funny to me, but it's like electricity with an engine in it. It's not loud. It's just what it is. But now I'm trying to make it as much mine as possible. The car that this reminds me of, to be totally honest, is the Cars 3 movie. The car that Lightning McQueen had to go against in the final round when he is playing on the track or racing on the track, and he's playing against somebody he can go top speed 200 and probably 70 miles per hour. And Lightning McQueen knows he's not even close and fast enough, and he is not even a model fast enough to catch up to this car. So this is the car that I'm looking at, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I got a brilliant idea. It looks like the GTR. It looks like a lot of things going on in the game, but let's get into the customizations. We have armor, brakes, bumper, chassis, engine. But first of all, we're going to go with armor because we need armor. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's start making a move towards racing. We're going to make it a racing situation, a sports vehicle. This is going to be a sports vehicle and fit into the sports area. Likewise, we were just trying to see the customizations on these cars. And likewise, I would say to you again, this is a brand new car. Plastic racer spoiler. Splitter. This is actually what I was looking for. I'm kind of like guessing. I'm doing an audio over this. I'm trying to do a commentary on it, on all the information that I was possibly given to like actually make this possible. And I was just looking at certain things and I was just like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, should I make this possible? I was looking at a couple videos. I was watching a couple of ideas, and I wanted to make it really iconic in a sense of like, what car did I want to really make it like? So I really took into the consideration Cars 3, and I made it just like the Car 3 movie as much as I possibly can, with much more carbon fiber on it and whatnot. And these are going to be the customizations for the front bumper. And you're going to be able to use carbon. You're going to be able to use carbon, plastic, and all this great stuff that is going to make this car flourish and stand out very well. Overflod situation, looking at the paint and looking at what it is right now, I really want to make it so much more of a two-tone situation where you have a primary paint and you have a secondary paint where you can actually see something like this. I'm not into the design right now from what it looks like when it's on the stock. I don't like it as it looks like right now. So I'm kind of like looking through a bunch of situations right now. I was looking on YouTube and I was looking at certain things that I was wanting to see and make it much more unique to the car that I'm looking for. So I made it to get a carbon fiber feel. I went to go to a lot of this situation. You see Prime GT Racing setup, MK5 and all this great other stuff. And I'm just looking to figure out what I really am looking at when I'm looking at the back or the rear bumper of what you guys are seeing right now. Some of them are actually looking pretty nice, and then some of them are looking not so much like my style. So I'm trying to figure out something I really am going to use and utilize and show you guys something beautiful today. So Carbon GT Racing setup MK2 is what I end up going with. And then what happened was I was still looking at a video and I was just trying to see and look at it, and I was just trying to see what I really liked out of the situation, what I'm looking at for the Overflod Imorgon. This is going to be a sports car, and I'm going to make it as much more of a sporty situation as I can. And the chassis is going to be the seats in the vehicle, and you are going to be able to find really good seats that you can have. It's a two-seater, so you're going to be you driving and then one person in the passenger. And late nights you could be cruising with whatever, she could come in the car, or he can come up in the car and cruise off to the nice day and light, day and night. So this is another situation, titanium twin big, like all these things going on, like for the exhaust, I still don't know what that area is. I'm looking at the grill right now, and that's just at the front, like closer to the front bumper and whatnot. So I'm just basically trying to figure out what I really need to make this actually pop, so I definitely want to make the hood carbon fiber, something I got to be able to do, and I like that kind of feel with it. I didn't want to put a horn. I didn't really want to put too much situation. I put very bright lights, HD lights. And this is the part where I was trying to show, like, I just wanted a normal kind of look, so I can be able to give it a primary color and then a secondary color. But for most of the times you are seeing all these little things, these weird names, I'm not really aware of the pronunciation of it, so I'm gonna call it bear. So it's a very nice looking Chinese kind of symbol going on over there and whatnot. I do not know what it says in English language. The Overflod, going back to the regular situation, I own the vehicle, so that's gonna be pretty good. And then after, I'm changing the mirrors. So when I was changing the mirrors, I ended up making it carbon fiber. Those are going to be for the side mirrors when you're looking out the window through right and left, and that's what I was able to do in the category. And then I was looking at license plates. I like black license plates because they are pretty much the ones that I usually go for the most. And I continued searching and looking online, and I was like looking on my phone while I was like trying to make this video, and I was like, okay, so what else does it have that I need? And I just kept on scrolling through, and then after I found out paint, and then I was like, yeah, I need to go and get some paint now. But I realized the Overflod is still gonna be there with the sign and the strips going down this Oregon. I'm just like, no, I don't want that. So I need to really figure out what I really need the most. So then I start continuing searching around, and this is again, and then I'm like, whoa, this looks more like the GTR in my eyes than anything else, just an updated GTR to me, like, but if you have any comments about this vehicle in general and think about it, it reminds you of another car, just please link it in the bottom of the description, not the description, the chat, or you should say the comment section, So this is where I actually put the spoiler on, and the spoiler usually keeps the car balanced out between going speeds and cutting through right hand turns or left hand turns and stuff like that, so you can pick up a good turning situation. So I wanted the best looking one, and I ended up going with the carbon situation. And then I continued looking further to the sunroof kind of situation, and I seen some situations where the side panels of like just the corner of that situation is right there, the strip. And then after, I ended up wanting it to make it a little bit more of a street situation, but it's a sports car, so I kind of wanted to make it a sports feel, so I made it lower to the ground so I can be able to get more traction towards like turning lanes and whatnot. The tire situation, I didn't put bulletproof tires on it. I did later on throughout time. I ended up putting out bulletproof tires on it. I'm looking for something that would stand out a little bit. So I think I did go with the Obey RS, and I think those were something that I ended up going with, and I just enjoyed the look and the name of it, and I was just like, yeah, this is something I might need. And I continued just looking around, and then after I was watching some videos again, like I was saying, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm really looking for when I'm looking at the situation. Then I ended up looking at the colors, because now I can actually put a proper looking color. And then I just thought to myself, I need to go metal, matte, I mean, a matte kind of feel situation. So then I ended up going black, because I think this was the color that I'm pretty much like used to seeing most of the majority of the time. And black was one of the colors that I felt that stands out a little bit more differently when it comes down to nighttime and not being seen. And I still want to be able to not be seen when I get situations happening when they get really dire situations. So I didn't want to make to myself to be too noticeable. And then I ended up going down and looking at some of the steel situations, the silver, what I mean. I'm looking at a lot of these situations, and I was like, damn, this is a good looking situation, because I can make it really look good, and at the same time something that's enjoyable to drive, what I mean. So I was looking at all these colors, and we can go across the board from blue, red, green, yellow, all that stuff. And I was like, all right, okay, I guess I'm gonna stay with the matte. And then after, I just looked, and I was like, this is gonna be it. This is where I'm looking at right now, what I mean, the brushed steel or brushed black steel, what I mean. So this is just something that I'm really looking for, and I'm just like, damn, this looks really good with the carbon too. So like they both kind of like complement each other in general, while they're actually so much similar to each other, but different type of texture of material. Okay, so then I continued looking, and then I was like, oh, I need to get my mirrors done. What else do I need to go down the list? I was just like, okay, so that's looking good. And then I ended up tinting my windows, and I was like, yeah, this looks even better and better. And this is the result I came with. I hope you guys like it. This is exactly what I came up with, and I'm really liking this car, how it looks. The chassis inside stands out, black and red. And likewise, I'm just appreciative of like winning it on the wheels. So I basically won this Overflod Imorgon by just spinning the wheels. So just to let you guys know that things do happen, and they pertain to doing what you think it is working for you. And I ended up taking it back to my crib, and here is the top speed, the acceleration, the brake, and traction. If you guys like the Overflod Imorgon, please like and subscribe and come back to the page, and I hope to see you again. Peace.